it's worth noting that Off Campus covers topics of sexual assault, and so we will have to cover and be talking about that during these episodes. We really hope you stay for a nice time, but if that's too much, we get it, and we'll see you when we're covering something else. Okay, bye.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Tonsil Hockey. This is the podcast born of a love of heated rivalry, but we are currently talking about another show we actually really like. Woohoo! Thank God. We thought we'd never get over it, and we're not over it, but still, it's nice to have moved on a little bit because we're talking about Off Campus.
The methadone for the heated rivalry addict.
It's true. For the, let's hope, bisexual heated rivalry addict, because otherwise, what a tough show. This is fun. I'm really enjoying it. And we're on down to the last 2 episodes.
Sad.
Sad.
And also let us know what we should watch next.
Huh?
Also, let us know what we should watch next.
I like that. Yes, you must. Please do. Has anyone watched voicemails from Isabel yet? Or to Isabel? Is it to Isabel? Is it voicemail?
We can watch that.
It looks good.
Also,
it's getting really good reviews.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I'm happy to watch that. I would also say Romeo Beckham, David Beckham's son, is going to be in a gay sports movie.
40 Love. I'm
Tell
so
me
excited.
everything. Tell me everything. As a tennis fan.
Okay, thank you
Tell
so
me.
much. As you know, I love tennis. I don't know. I think it's based on YA. Am I right, producer Charlie? Yes. This is a book I'm excited to read. I'm like, would like to read a smutty book about tennis, please. Yes. Yum, yum, yum. Of course you saw Challengers.
Yes.
So we know that there's scope here. Of course we do. We know there's scope.
Oh God, I love Challengers.
I know. And also, sorry, it's a sport where we're not just doing helmets and whatever jersey.
We're grunting.
We're grunting, but we're also doing cute little outfits. Like we're
saying the word love over and over and over again.
We are. We're saying the word juice over and over and over again. It's so exciting. I'm thrilled. Also, good for him. Why not? I just think, like, what a time to be alive. That we've gone so full circle. So it used to be, in order to do a homosexual character as a serious straight male actor, you had to make it that serious. It had to be art. It was like women put on weight, men played gay. Let's go Oscars. Now,
and the thing is, Charlize Theron did both, and she got the Oscar for it.
It worked. But now it's so nice to see young actors. Like, it's, as I've said many times before, it's nice to see Hudson be like, yeah, and it's just fun. It's just so much fun. I got this juicy ass. It's so fun. How fun. We're being so sexy together. It's so fun. It doesn't say, he's not like taking it as like a reason to justify his manhood or like it having to be like serious art. He's just like, yeah, it's pretty sick how we're fucking each other. And it's now fun to have seen it go even further, where celebrity Nepo children are eager to play gay characters in gay smut.
Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. That's the only way to harness your Nepo baby power.
And also, finally, the gays properly run entertainment, as it was always meant to be.
God bless. I will say I won't shut up about the Scotland game, because the thing is, I mean, with all due respect, will Scotland ever be in the World Cup again?
Yeah,
disable the comments now, but
I know, even me, I was like, well, they have actually been in, I think you'll find it, I think it was 1984. Was it? I think so.
I think it was 1990.
Oh, my apologies. Could have been both.
It could be both. It actually could have been both.
No, it couldn't be, because they're every 4 years. So mathematically impossible.
Okay. Well, what will I say to that? No, the Scotland national football team has appeared 8 times, including 5 consecutive tournaments from 74 to 90.
Everyone's turned off. And I don't mean like they're no longer horny, like they arrived at this podcast. I mean they're no longer listening. We've misread the audience if you think they actually give a shit which years Scotland was in the World Cup. They're like, yeah. And then you'll get to talking about the boys soon, but you're actually looking it up. And I just want you to remember where we are.
To the
Hello?
-3 people who are currently listening. If you did watch the Scotland-Brazil game, you'll know that David Beckham was there. He was wearing a tan suit, and he
always is.
And
was it his like sort of linen number?
Yeah.
He always is. He loves it. He wears it to the tennis. He wears it to the football. I'm like, babe, get a new suit. Come on, treat yourself. You're rich.
Yeah, isn't your wife a fashionista? Let her dress
come on.
you.
Well, all of her stuff looks the same, so maybe it's a different suit.
True.
How dare I shade her? She's not listening. She's simply not listening.
You don't know that. But I will say he was drinking a red wine out of like a novelty wine glass.
Really?
It looked like one of those wine glasses that could fit a whole wine bottle.
Brave to wear that light tan suit
Yeah.
and drink a red wine.
Yeah.
Trust yourself, David. Why not? Good hand-eye coordination, I get. Well, foot-eye coordination.
But I guess it's the most VIP you can go to have red wine and glassware at a football game.
Yeah. Oh, it was actually glass.
Yeah.
Whoa. They don't even think he's a thug. That's pretty cool.
Anyways.
Go on.
We are discussing episode 7 and 8. I'm responsible for recapping episode 7, and I will boldly say that this is the best episode of the entire season.
Convince me.
Okay.
Convince me.
Because
as you know, I absolutely
I
love...
like convince me, and then you start
Because as you know, I loved episode 6. I just think the Ali Dean montages were amazing, but go on.
Who knew that you could fall in love with the Skip episode?
It's not the Skip episode. No, sorry. The series is Skip, and then they gave us an episode of the real characters who they know are the real characters because that's where they're going to be season 2 that we actually care about. Oh my God, didn't know I felt that strongly. Wow. Yeah, sorry. The boring people who are immediately in love but make up weird tension, that's Skip.
You might be right. Well, listen. I was complaining about how we didn't get enough rosy, fun, kissy, cute. And here I've changed my tune because I'm loving how dark this gets, okay?
Tell me.
Some of my favorite plot lines in all media are ones where both sides are right. So I think something you touched upon last time, which I really enjoyed, is that Logan is completely understandable in his calling Garrett's dad, because Logan is like, I am playing on a scholarship.
Yeah.
These kids will be playing on scholarships. This is a way to raise money. Why are you letting petty drama stop us from raising money? You don't understand the value of money.
Yeah.
Valid viewpoint, especially given the amount of information that he has.
Yeah.
Garrett, on the other hand, knows for a fact that his dad is a monster and doesn't want to have a relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
Also completely valid and also correct. And so when they're butting heads, I like that I could side with both. I really, really like that. And I think in this situation with Garrett and Hannah, I kind of also felt that way, where I was like, I understand where both of them are coming from in these situations.
I like that. I think that's very well put. And also, I'm realizing how often we don't have that. I don't allow for that in my real life. I'm such a black and white thinker that I can never conceive of what the other person might be thinking of. Often Ellen's like, okay, babe, yeah, maybe all of your friends hate your freaking guts. or, world in which, what if they don't actually pause when you leave the room and they in fact may have other stuff going on with them?
No, I don't believe
and
that.
I'm like, I don't think so. So it's nice to see both
I don't buy
sides. I can have empathy if I see the full storyline from both perspectives. Thank you.
At least 7 episodes.
Yeah, and I'm going to need a book as well. I am going to need a book. I'm going to need a book.
If you're not spending your time hating me, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Can I get a schedule?
Don't you dare say not thinking about me. Oh God, my blood ran cold. Go on. But I think that's a really good point, and it's why these work so well.
All right, so we see Hannah locked in her room. She's obviously processing the fact that Garrett is about to play her rapist on the ice, and the fact that Garrett doesn't know this, but also she wants to be a good girlfriend and not burden Garrett with this information because it's such an important game.
Yeah.
All of this completely understandable. Meanwhile, Garrett is absolutely freaking out because he cannot reach his own girlfriend, and his girlfriend has been his grounding force, and as we've established in the previous episode, his only therapist.
Yes, his entire emotional crutch.
He can't reach out to anybody else because he's purposefully not given anyone else information to help him.
Yeah. But also, that's because it's very vulnerable information and he would need to trust them, and he doesn't trust them, though he probably should, because he has learned to maybe distrust men in his life.
And that's not a wrong takeaway.
No, and his violent dad is in the stadium, and that's scary.
Maybe you should actually not trust men. Maybe that's actually a good thing. Whiplash! The subplot is so fun and flirty and cool.
Yeah.
Allie runs into Bo, and Bo is the brother of Joanna Maxwell. What?
Big name on campus!
Broadway star and Briar University graduate.
B-Knock!
And Joanna desperately needs to do an audition, and she needs someone to read the audition with her. Now listen, what this does poorly, and I think this is the most false advertising this will give you, and it's not that you as a college girl can wear really expensive lingerie. Sure, maybe there's a world in which that's true. What's not true is that anybody wants the person reading the audition for you to do the most.
Yeah, oh my God, I know. The idea that you want them to be like giving it socks as opposed to just letting you act is so funny and sweet. It's so endearing. It's so endearing. It's, it's the energy of an American girl who wants to take a show to Edinburgh. And that's gorgeous.
Being discovered by being the voice behind the camera in someone else's audition.
I worry that at some point that has happened, because if it's happened once, that's enough to have fueled, because actors already think it's possible. Like, I have read with some people where I'm like, relax. Truly. They're like, why don't we do it where like the mirror is behind you? It's like, no. Why don't we? Anyway, very funny, very good. Yes, I loved it.
So for context, if you not in this world, which is completely understandable, sometimes you will get an audition through, and it would require you to speak to somebody in that audition, right, in that scene. So someone sits behind
Which
the
is
camera
what Joanna had.
and reads the other person's lines.
But you just need them to say them as neutrally as possible so that
Yeah.
you can make choices. You don't need them like going ham.
Is Ellen yours?
Yeah, but
Ideally, yeah.
it's great because she's an actor, so she gets it.
Do you read it with Ellen as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we don't like do the accent for each other or anything like that because it's just going to throw you.
Right. I do it with you and now. I used to do it with my flatmate Philip, who has a really, really strong German accent. And that added a little layer to every script.
I'll bet it fucking did. I'll bet it did. It really makes airport security a much more intense audition.
And I just love the idea of someone watching and being like, that person really made a choice.
Yeah, huge call. Sure. All right. Yeah,
the
why
choice
not?
is that they're German.
Yeah.
So yeah, some like a little bit lighter relief in quite a dark episode. This whole this whole storyline. Garrett is freaking out. He's leaving Hannah voicemails. He's going, "Wellesley, where are you?" But you totally understand why Hannah is completely shut off because she's finding it very difficult to process
She's
all of
freezing.
this.
Yeah.
Then we have some more clarity. And I think in some ways you can watch this show as a sort of detective procedural because the things that didn't make sense before start making sense. And this clear writer's block that Hannah has that is not allowing her to write any lyrics and has even Justin calling her out for it actually is grounded in a very traumatic experience. And that's when she reports her rape. Her mom puts a piece of paper in front of her and asks her to write everything that happened, which is obviously fucking horrific.
Yeah.
And the idea of having to bare her soul and share her experiences like that. And then at the end of the day, that even not being worth anything was so scarring for her that she can no longer sort of write about herself so vulnerably.
Yeah, expose yourself in the written word. That makes total sense. Yeah.
Oh, God. She's ignoring her phone.
Yeah.
Because Garrett can't reach Hannah, his therapist, he's taking it out on his team, and him and Logan are fighting.
Yeah. They're not having a good time. The boys will not speak to each other, and it's making for bad hockey play, frankly.
Yeah, they're losing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Delaney's a very aggressive player.
Is Delaney the guy?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I have the name Delaney here. I fucking forgot his name because fuck that guy.
It's Aaron Delaney, and a funny trope that I hate because I find it irritating in terms of our perception of what sexual assault, what rape, what criminals look like, is that Amazon have done what television shows always do when they're casting somebody to be the perpetrator of a sexual crime, which is choose somebody who they think looks like the mugshot of a person who has done a sexual crime.
Yeah.
And it's like, this guy's way too old to have gone to high school with Hannah.
Yeah.
He's seen some darkness, that's for sure. The makeup artist was also like, and you'll see some more, frankly. It's just like, it does annoy me when you get like almost like parody evil man, because in the same way that like all people who commit crimes against children, and this is very heavy, sorry, but in films always have to have a mustache,
and
have
a
to wear
very specific kind of pair of
and
glasses.
it's like no. It's like often a person you know. It's often the man you'd never suspect. It's often the person who gets away with it because everybody likes them so much. That just is a slight tedium for me, but fine. Yeah.
That didn't cross my mind, but now that you're bringing attention to it, that's totally valid, because most of the time they are hiding in plain sight.
And also especially the like university sports players who get excused away with all this kind of behavior because of the potential their future has. They always look like fucking J. Crew boys.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, but he's like, and it's like, you couldn't take away all his potential. And you're like, fuck off. And that's why they don't believe it. Whereas, yeah, this guy's like a caricature, but that's fine.
I think you're right.
That's my one
I
thing
think you are
the
completely
presentation
right.
of it was bad in, I think.
I have written something quite damning in all caps in my notes, which is, if she can't let people in, is this thing with Garrett real?
Oh, say more.
Well, I guess at the end we do find out that it is, but it was sort of one of those things where people keep accusing her of not opening up, and then you sort of wonder, well, has she truly opened up to Garrett?
Interesting. Whereas I feel like she did that early doors. But she did it in a very defensive way. But he has like treated with respect the information she's given him.
Absolutely. But for example, he at this point doesn't know why she can't write lyrics.
That's
right?
true. That's true.
But that's maybe something that even she can't admit to herself.
Yeah,
at this
I think
point.
she's struggling.
Oof. Again, some light relief. Jules is broadcasting the entire game onto Fifth Line or whatever the fuck the Demois is.
Yeah.
And may
Fifth
I
Line.
just say, to have a tripod for Demois, now that's commitment. Now that's commitment. In our day, Gossip Girl did not have a tripod.
Yeah, it's very impressive. I mean, I thought tripods were just for having full naked phone sex with your boyfriend while he's in a different city on his hockey tour. But no, they can be used for news reporting as well, guys. Thrilling. Thrilling. What a lesson. What a lesson.
Oh, God. It's really funny that for a while we were like, selfie sticks were a thing. And then everybody's like, no, selfie sticks are ridiculous. What do you mean? You mean a retractable device for your phone?
Mhm.
That would be so humiliating. And now everybody has a tripod.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, that's just as bad. And also,
Dude.
you're not making a documentary. I need you to calm down.
Okay, this is maybe a personal attack on a woman at my gym, but can I just say, okay, there's having a personal trainer. Fine. There's having a personal trainer on your phone. Also fine. But there is no such thing as having a personal trainer on your phone on a tripod.
No.
She would put a tripod in front of a machine at the gym. Girl, what? That's a tripping hazard.
Like, while they tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I am done with phones in the gym. I shouldn't have to choose my mat based on who is or is not filming.
Oh, yeah,
this
you're in the
class.
background. You're in the background.
Fuck off. I don't want to be in the background. I want to be in the gym. I've come here to escape this bullshit. Why?
And I see people on social media who do film that being like, don't flatter yourself. It's not about you. But it's like, it's my right not to want to be in this.
Yeah. And also, like, let's think about why people exercise. It's not entirely like to gain followers. Most people are there because they're trying to have one moment to themselves in a busy day. They're trying to get out of their bodies or out of their heads and into their bodies. They're trying to cheer themselves up. They're trying to calm themselves down. Just like fucking stop filming it. Stop filming it. Sorry. Wow, I had a lot of feelings about that.
Yeah. The camera that we're speaking into is set up on a tripod, but that's neither here nor there.
And we may or may not be triggered by that. Thank you for listening.
Then I have written down, well, now you've told me who Delaney is. I'm sorry. I made these notes like a week ago, and to be completely honest with you, I've forgotten everybody's names. I only remember John Tucker because his name's John Tucker.
To say you forgot like you knew them in the first place is so funny. You can't forget that which you do not know.
They're all like generic. You know those like fake American baseball player names that they have in Japan? That's what they are all to me. John Tucker, is it? Okay, so what does Birdie hurt by Delaney mean?
It means Birdie gets injured by
Who the fuck is Birdie?
An essential member of their team.
Okay.
Is hurt by Delaney, such that they now have a line that is down a man, and they need to get a replacement stat.
Mm-hmm.
And also, they hope he's okay.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
Because Delaney's incredibly violent, as we've picked up on.
Sorry, Birdie. Sorry to this man.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to this man. So then Hannah does make it to the game.
Mm.
And then it's really nice and refreshing that that Garrett doesn't get mad at her for not responding.
Yes, it's true.
Which I did enjoy. She does not tell him about Delaney, but then Delaney clocks them kissing on side of the ice, and then
he's an evil little twerp.
And it's Delaney who reveals to Garrett who he is.
Mm-hmm. Such a cunt.
And then Garrett beats the absolute living crap out of him.
Yeah. Yes, he does. Not a mature or good choice, but a completely understandable one. Yeah. Yeah. He just sees red.
And there's this sort of like romantasy, I think, instinct in the reader or the viewer to be like, yeah. And then another one being like, oh no, this is actually terrible because it's like it feeds into his fear of becoming his dad. It is ruining his career.
It's not what Hannah wants.
It's not serving Hannah in any way.
No.
And so again, I think this is a very well done episode because you could see the situation from so many angles and see the reasoning and see the pros and cons from every angle.
And not even a romantic urge. I think some part of you is like, can be like, yeah, the fucking justice system fails yet again for women in this scenario as it actively did for her. There should be some consequences to your actions.
Yeah.
And something you understand, and you understand violence, but also it's not a good choice. Not a good choice, but I get it.
And then after all this plays down, I'll go back to Allie's storyline in a second, but I think while we're on the subject, Hannah meets Garrett outside after he's been suspended.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this like whole conversation where Hannah says, "This is not what I want," which is again such good representation of this entire situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then Garrett breaks up with her, and you understand why he's breaking up with her, because obviously he's so ashamed of how he acted, and also that again he's terrified that this is the kind of person that he is, and that's something that he can't help within himself and can't fix within himself. And his dad tells him that
he was proud of him for
he was proud of him.
So gross.
And the fact that Garrett says, "I'm scared of becoming you," and his dad says, "You already are."
So
grim. You totally understand why Garrett is breaking up with Hannah in this moment. But then fuck, my heart breaks for Hannah because she has to be punished for a thing. She feels like she's being punished for a thing that was already a punishment.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, it's like, oh God, it's this idea that like when you go through something as horrific as sexual assault, and then you're like, well, not only do I have to suffer in that moment, I then have to suffer when I have to tell people about it.
Yeah.
And I have to suffer when I have to relive it every day in court. And then I have to suffer because now I am being blamed that this is that I'm making this up. And then years later, I get into a fantastic relationship, and then I get to have my heart broken again because of that thing.
Yeah.
Someone else did a bad thing, and I have to keep reliving the consequences and keep being punished for it for years to come. It's so fucking unfair.
And it's really, really well, I think, portrayed, because I do think that sort of incredibly long tail of that kind of trauma, in whatever form it comes, is very real.
It's so not fair.
Yeah.
It's like it wasn't fair in the moment that it happened, and every time she has to deal with the consequences and the perpetrator doesn't, it gets more and more and more unfair.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I have nothing
feel
to
very
add. No,
passionately about
me
this.
too, and I have nothing to add because I think you're exactly right.
I think it's
devastating.
so well put. And again, the reason it works is because you can fully empathize with both sides of this conflict.
Agreed.
I will say one of the most relatable times. Oh God.
You welling up?
I will say one of the most relatable things in the Ali subplot is this like quick friend. When you like get really excited to be friends with someone or to meet someone, you overshare.
Yeah.
You're like, it's very like toilet queue at the club.
Yes, it's also very like, I respect you, and I don't necessarily have something that you can admire back, because although I know my potential, you don't know my potential yet. And so what I will do to create sort of false intimacy is to overshare, because you're loving knowing this about me, and I want to give you what you want because you've already given me so much by simply existing. Yep. And so
God, this is so real.
Yeah,
and we all recognize the currency of gossip.
Oh
and
my
God,
God,
like, I can't give you a job and I can't give you money, but what I can give you is drama.
Yeah, I have to earn my proximity with a story. So here you go.
So obviously Ali overshares.
Can you tell we're comics? If you're going to spend all this time with me, I'm going to tell you every single secret I've ever had. Let's go. Yeah. So Ali tells her.
Yeah, I've had a threesome. So
me too. You're welcome. I've already told people that on a fucking BBC radio show. Why would I have said it?
The thing is, I know everything about your threesome. I know they both did CrossFit, and you disliked both of them on a personal level.
No, I didn't dislike
Did
either
you
of them on a
not?
personal level, no.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just like, you are very pretty, and that's what I need right now.
No, they were both so hot, but no, I didn't know them well enough to dislike them.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it was that.
No.
I know that they were both did CrossFit, and you're like, if I'm going to do a threesome, it's going to be with two people who did CrossFit.
They were so beautiful, but I really wish I hadn't talked about it so publicly in the level of detail that I did. Go on.
We can cut this out.
Oh, no, this is touching not like barely the surface. There's some stuff anyway. You mustn't go on Wheel of Fortune. It's over now, but because those girls,
they got everything they wanted out of us.
They'll get exactly now. It's over. Classic. Tell me, please.
Okay, so and then obviously Joanna's very, very excited about all the gossip with Dean and Ali, and then they decide to go to a bar, and then Joanna encourages Ali to flirt with a guy at the bar called Carter St. James. That's a name from Glee.
That's the name he's using for having. It's like he's booked a hotel as a celebrity, and he's gone Carter St. James, and they've gone yes, Mr. St. James.
When your first name is a last name and your last name is a park,
it's
that's not a name, baby. That's like a porn star name generator.
Sorry, that's so good. If I'd had my little keyboard, I'd have been pew 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 pewing a lot because it's very nice. Yeah,
you.
exactly. Too posh to function, but I'm gonna say it now. He's hot as hell.
He's hot as hell, but I mean, in
He looks like an Abercrombie model.
He does, but in Allie's shoes, they start talking because she clogs that he has a fake ID, and this entire time I'm like, girl, do you want to check his age? Check his age!
Oh my god, good
The only thing you know about Carter St. James is that he's underage.
Yeah, if Olga Koch is asking you to check his age, you better check. Because
Yikes.
She likes him borderline.
Comfortably legal.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
They're driving you in the car they just got for their 18th birthday. It's fine.
Freeze frame. Then it goes black and white.
No, but she should have asked. That's such a good point.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the entire time. And then basically Joanna's like trying to encourage Allie to hook up with Carter St. James. But she's so obsessed with Dean, she can't do it. So all they do is have a little clandestine but sexy kiss at the bar.
Yeah.
And then she goes back to Joanna.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Carter St. James and the whole situation? Have you been Joanna? Because I've been Joanna. I love to be Joanna.
I have been Allie.
In what way?
Susceptible to the whims of an older woman who I want to impress, and thus
You could be like a circus bear for her. Be
yeah,
like, I'll go kiss whoever you want.
Yeah. And then also, I think I've been Carter St. James, where someone's like just using me for a situation, but I've been like, okay, sorry, you.
I'm just happy to be here. I'm 16.
You? Yeah. For my 15th birthday, where I'm drinking a martini alone, I'll definitely kiss you. Yeah. Yes, please.
Oh, God. Very, very funny stuff. Very funny stuff. Fundamentally, Garrett gets suspended for 4 games, is my understanding.
Yes, by his coach.
By his coach.
Subject to a panel that's going to be in the next episode.
Which will be discussed by our resident sports expert, Catherine Bohart.
I actually have a lot of comments on the panel because we'll get to it.
I'm going to wrap this up because I think the most heartbreaking moment of the entire show is when Hannah calls her mom and she apologizes to her for ruining her life because they spent so much money on lawyers they had to like remortgage the house or something. Mm-hmm. And I thought, again, every time I'm delighted by this show is when it does something that I don't expect.
Yeah.
And her mom, point blank, in a very sort of mature and blunt way, just goes, "Tell me what you did wrong."
Yeah. Oh.
And it was just like I did cry at this moment because it was like it was the most deeply empathetic, but also kind of like a weirdly tough love way
to be like parental.
Yeah, to be like I understand that what you're all going through right now. And sort of instead of almost coddling you, I will just point blank tell you you did nothing wrong.
Yeah. And you can't, like even the meanest voice in your head can't rationally tell me how this is your fault. And that's important. And that kind of stuff lives in your bones. Like that kind of stuff really counteracts the darkest thoughts that you have in those moments. It's very powerful and very kind of her mother. And the fact that her mom picks up exactly what's happening and that she needs to talk and that there's no hint of this again or, oh, well, I'm having people over. It's just like a mother who knows that this is going to be a long-term recovery and says the right things. It's really gorgeous.
And sometimes what you need in these moments is like you are obviously catastrophizing and you're going on these like spirals of thinking of the worst thing, and someone just giving you a reality check is
a loving one.
The most loving and kind thing you can get.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It was really gorgeous. It was. It's gonna make me cry again.
Oofed.
It was really good.
Oofed. Yeah. So I loved her mom in that moment. I just thought this like calmness and groundedness, it just like anchored the scene really well. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I wonder if part of the reason that they do handle this topic so well, and I think they do handle it exceptionally well, is because this is born. I haven't read the books, but it is because it's been born of the books. I wonder if anyone's read it could write in, but I feel like often when television shows try to tackle these huge topics, and they do it, they try their best. You can see them trying. You can see the mechanics of their effort, but they often miss the mark. And I think the beauty of somebody having spent the time to write this as a book, having like had the thinking time that a book affords you, but that television writers' rooms often don't, I think has borne out in a much more considered, thoughtful representation of this.
I completely agree. The book has the luxury of saying, and they said that while they were thinking XYZ.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time when you're writing a TV script, you don't have the time or like the freedom to be like, okay, what are they thinking when they're saying this?
absolutely. Not, rather than just getting us to the next action point. Yeah, I really liked it.
And
It's
then,
a great episode of television.
And then Hannah goes through the sort of classic moments of being broken up with. She's watching Dirty Dancing. She's eating hot Cheetos. Allie, after her sexy kiss with Carter St. James, if that's even your real name, does not respond to Dean's text messages. And then she's there for her girl while Garrett plays a hockey video game.
Yeah.
And I think that's key because he's obviously very confused whether he likes hockey or not. But the way that he decides to grieve is through a hockey video game. And I can only hope that he's playing as Ilya Rozanov.
His face is on the box.
All right, it's episode 8, baby.
Yes, it is. Now, don't think the episode's going to start light because actually Hannah and Garrett are both in their respective beds. There's a split screen and they are both playing Fade Into You. She
Fade into you.
It's so moody and depressing, and she's crying, and she sees his hockey shirt in her drawer, and he sees her guitar pick, as if we didn't see those cues, we wouldn't know why they were sad, because we don't remember the episode we just saw. I love American television sometimes.
Also, they use skin condoms. Shout out.
Love
a skin condom.
They're also doing other sad walking montages, and I'm gonna shout out one very realistic part of this montage, which you rarely see on television post-breakup, is a woman in heels with an outfit she's clearly considered and a full face to take an exam because her ex-boyfriend's there. Yes, please! You will not see my weakness. I was like, yeah, thank you. No fucking like scrunchies or whatever they often do.
These are red bottoms. These are bloody
I
shoes.
love it. And then Hannah's working a shift at Malone's, and this odd thing happens where she goes over to this table of boys and she's like, hey, I'm your server. My name's Hannah. What can I get you? And they're like, Hannah Wellesley. And she's like, yeah. And they're like, oh, like we have girlfriends. We're not talking to you.
Okay.
And she's like, huh?
Crazy scene. Can I do a really quick sidebar? My favorite story that's ever happened in the whole entire world. I think maybe Charlie has already told it to you.
Go on.
Okay, this is the best thing that's ever happened. So our good friend Charlie, she went on vacation to Vietnam with her okay?
Right.
And so basically they went to this cave to go look for a hike into a cave.
Okay.
And then Charlie was like, actually, I'm not going to go to the cave. I don't feel like it. I'll go to the cave. That's totally fine.
Great.
Anyways, they're both dressed up in like hiking gear. They are like literally on a girls' trip. They are not thinking about anything else other than just like hanging out together, and like it's not about looking cute. Anyways, goes into the cave, and she can't tell whether there's an end point to the cave because she's like, is she going to some sort of like end point, or do you just choose to turn back whenever?
Yeah.
And there's other people in this cave, and then there's like
it keeps going all the way up to your belly button.
Sure. Yeah. And there's a guy in front of her, and she's like, hey, do you know if there's an end point? He's like, yeah, I think there is because there's people taking photos there.
Okay.
And then so they reach the point where everybody's taking photos, and she goes, hey, do you want me to take a photo of you? And he just turns around and goes, I have a girlfriend. She's waiting outside, and she's not in here because she's wearing heels and sorry, he's wearing. Sorry, it's so funny. It's so funny. I've ruined it. It's so funny. She's like, she's just not in here because she's wearing heels and a skirt.
What?
Not only did she get sorry I have a girlfriend,
Because you offered to take a photo of a person who's at a photo point?
but also she got basically called ugly by the guy who she was not trying to approach. Anyway,
That's insane. Also, sorry.
Unwell.
You're bragging about a woman who can't predict her day? I'm sorry. That's weird to me. But okay. That's deranged. Yeah. And of a similar vein, these are 4 boys who it's like, sorry, have you seen Garrett? Because you're not even kind of in Hannah's league. Relax. But yes, they're like, we have girlfriends. We're all have girlfriends. Very strange. And I, at this point, was panicking that there's something had gotten out about her from her school. I was just like, I was really stressed. Sean comes in. Josh Groban himself comes in because he misses Della's fries, and he tells her that the breakup's on 5th line, and also that there's hints that there's like a rumor going around between between guys on the campus, and she's obviously freaking out because the last time that happened was awful too. And then we see Hannah marching into a room full of dicks.
And you thought, okay, well, did Heated Rivalry have enough nudity? We can have nudity. And then they show you full fucking frontal.
So many full frontal
Episode 8.
penises. It's wild. She walks in looking for Garrett into this dressing room, and he's not there, but there's so many dicks. It's wild.
And I thought legally you're not allowed to show dicks, so I wonder if they have fake dicks on top of their real dicks.
And I think I was remembering them wrong. They look different to me. Maybe it's age, perspective, eh? Life's crazy. So, yeah, that happens. And then she sees him. He eventually walks in and she's like, why are you in a suit? And also, you are so far over the line. And she can't really make a conversation. Like me, she can't really finish a sentence because there's too many penises to think, which I really think is very fair and accurate. And essentially,
Talk about Mondays.
right? And then she's like, you cannot tell people that they cannot talk to me. Basically, she thinks that there has been a law put on campus by Garrett that nobody's allowed to hook up with or talk to. No men are allowed to talk to Hannah. And he's like, I didn't do that. You can be with whoever you want. Ouch! Because the only thing worse than a sexist ban on other men talking to you would be your ex-boyfriend not giving a shit, actually. Very painful. It transpires that actually the newbies on the team got the wrong end of the stick and were like, if he'll beat people up if he thinks that they talk to Hannah. So that's clarified. And then they... from there, we see him going in his suit to his... sort of, I guess, trial by administrative staff.
And then you have a problem with this. So I'm here.
I do have a problem with this because, okay, I could fathom that there were that many people in a hearing, just about, and that he was there with his coach. I could fathom not that they didn't invite his parents, but fair enough. Maybe he didn't want his dad there. Fine. I guess they're adults. I could fathom that somehow in this sports department there are that many women and that the women are allowed to be in charge of this. Fine. I could even fathom that this teenage boy has this well cut and tailored a suit. His dad's very rich. You lose me.
That liquid IV money.
What? You lose me when they have inexplicably got in this huge conference room so many PowerPoint displays and so many visual pieces of equipment so that they can show a phone video that is going to go against him in this hearing. It's very strange. I was just like, what? No. Anyway, maybe I cared too much at that point about the wrong things. That's plausible, sure.
So the fact that he beat someone up, not an issue. Mm-mm. What is an issue is...
Well, no, I think the fact that he beat him up has been dealt with by the fact that he has a 4-game ban. I think the reason they're not willing to leave it at that is because they obviously are they must be getting a lot of blowback about this violence on the ice, and he also is a person they have to make an example of because his dad is famous and because he, I get it, but in so doing they bring up this thing from his Instagram where he showed himself playing in a Bruins practice, and they say that breaches the rules where you can't engage in professional hockey.
Go Bruins. I'm in a Bruins jersey for
and
those
the
listening.
Punishment is that all of their wins are stripped from them, the Briars wins, which is really harsh because it is punishing the whole team.
Yeah.
I, on a personal level, do think that the punishments for individual actions on sports teams should have consequences for their teams. And I also think that
interesting.
And I also think that fan behaviour should possibly affect teams too, because I think that's where you would see much better behaviour from both.
Ooh.
I don't think individualised punishment actually changes a culture. And I think they all enable one another. But that's just my sidebar.
So what I'm hearing is...
So I agree with the decision.
You like a culture of fear.
No, I recognise the power of groupthink and of fandom and of weaponizing tribalism for financial gain. And to that end, I think your punishments have to recognise that too.
Oof. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
But
I will keep this in mind for
none of this is important.
of Tonsil Hockey.
Please. Yes, please. And so, yeah, but basically he gets this punishment and he's really worried his team are going to fucking hate him. But afterwards, this is my least favourite subplot in the entire series. The coach is like, what kind of player do you want to be? Well, actually, first of all, he's like, why'd you beat that guy up? And he's like, it's not my story to tell. And then he's like, okay, well, then you need to decide, what kind of player do you want to be? Do you love hockey or not? And a lot of the episode of more of the character arc for Garrett spends episode 8, not just should he get back with Hannah, not how's he going to make it up with his team, but rather, does he love ice hockey? And it means that the next scene is there's a scene where he does a long stare at the ice.
And yeah, when it comes to water, does he prefer it in a huge block that's hard?
I just don't care. I don't. Anyway, so there is then a discussion happening between the boys, Tucker, etc., about how they make the Frozen Four, which I assume is the playoffs round of their university ice hockey tournament, and they're
doing Ewan McAdam Scotland type bargaining with
38% Well,
possibility.
that's certainly all they have if they don't get a replacement for Birdie, who we know was injured by Delaney.
Yeah.
You don't remember any of this. That's fine.
Mhm.
You're like, And then, so Dean is pushing for one of the newbies who he says he'll get ready.
Yeah.
But they're like, what about this guy, Hunter Davenport? And before they can even finish it, Dean's like, hell no. And I'm like, oh my God, do they fuck? Do they fuck? Is this heated rivalry? Are we finally doing it? He hates this guy. And everyone's like, is it because he outskate you at trials or tryouts? And he's like, no, it's just not going to be him.
Ever.
Yeah, Hunter Davenport. Ali almost sends Dean a text to say we need to talk. But Hannah comes in the room and she's like, oh, semester's over. I don't have anything to distract myself with. And Garrett's fine. He didn't even ban all the men on campus from talking to me. I want him to be miserable too, which is a very relatable feeling. And then Ali gets a text from Dean. Bear in mind, the text message says, just got the worst news. I really need to take my mind off it. Do you want to come over? She climbs through his window and instead of being like, hey, are you okay? Like, we're two people who might actually care about each other. She's like, you gotta fuck somebody else. That's your homework. We haven't fucked other people enough to keep this actually casual. There's your homework. And then he thinks they're gonna have sex. And she's like, nope, call me when it's done. So that's a bit of fun. I find it quite sexy. But I did think, you don't want to ask the guy one question?
Again, I'm struggling with the believability of this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. But
Okay.
But I mean,
Olga, why are you watching off campus?
none of these teenagers have one single spot. Like, are you here for the like plausibility? Because that's not going to wash. That's just a whole storyline about Sean. And I don't want to watch that. No, thank you. I already went to university. Cut to Garrett skating forlornly on the ice. There's also a scene that I did find quite believable where they are both they're both in bed trying not to click on each other's Instagram stories.
Oh my God, that's accurate representation.
It really is.
Oh
Then
my
he
God.
likes her old post with her song on purpose, which is actually quite cute. You're loving it. I was like, stop it.
Oh my God, a guy I hooked up with made a photo that I took of him, his profile picture on Instagram.
What?
But then we didn't talk. And I was like, this is crazy.
That's not.
But then everyone was like, guys don't even think about that. He probably just thought he looked good in that
he
photo.
definitely thought about it.
And I was like, there's other photos in which he looked good.
Yeah, come on. Come on. Get a grip. It transpires that the reason, okay, we find this out from Jules. The reason that Davenport and Hunter Davenport, this like nebulous guy who may or may not be on the team, but Dean doesn't want on the team. The reason they hate each other, according to Jules, is that they're both like prep school rich kids who must have some beef, but also because Davenport went to school with Dean's sister Summer, and we're supposed to infer from that some sort of drama. And Ali helps this. Okay, this is a really gorgeous scene. I actually do want to give this time and space. This is, for me, this is the Rose and Shane conversation at dinner of this series. Ali hears Hannah singing and I think sees a window in which Hannah might tell her that which it transpires she has known the whole time, and helps Hannah when she doesn't have the words to tell her that the friend who she's always said was roofied and then raped at her high school is in fact her. And what is so beautiful about it is that Hannah's fear, as is often the fear when you tell anyone about a sexual assault, that it will change how they see you, is so palpable in that moment. Like, she wants to be the fun version and the like light version of herself that Ali sees her as. Like, she doesn't want to change that. So when it is revealed that Ali is like, yeah, I knew that all along, and you are, because Hannah says she wants to be the girl she was before it happened. And Ali's like, you are her. That is who I am friends with. And you're this person. And you're all of the women in between. And it's so beautiful. And so kind and generous and loving. And I just really, really, really adored it. And I thought it was done so well. And the relief for Hannah in having told someone, and not only not having changed their perspective on her, but it never having even informed it, is just very lovely. And
it was a wonderful scene.
It's a really gorgeous scene. I just think it's really beautifully done.
And very well acted by both actresses. It was really, really good.
Agreed. Amidst all this touching heartbreak and friendship, Hannah mentions that she has like the inkling of a start of an idea for a song, and she gets Jules to help her. And when she's there, Jules tells Hannah that Logan and Garrett are in a fight. And then she goes and sees Garrett skating around on the ice rink. And he's glad to hear she's riding. Asks her if she's releasing a diss track asks her if she's releasing a diss track when she suggests that it might have something to do with him, which I think is very funny. And then she says it's no, you reminded me of who I used to be, which is nice.
And I think it's a really accurate representation and very iconic representation of that first meeting after the breakup where you're both pretending that you're actually civil and friends. God, we're just adults. Can't we just talk like adults? Catherine, we're both adults.
When she's like, hey, seems like you, apropos of nothing, might have something going on. And by the way, you can still say that kind of stuff to me because like, it's still me, honey. Let's do this. We're off a duck's back. Offload. I'll be able to take that somewhere with me. Sure. He says he's thinking of quitting hockey, and she says quite insightfully that, look, you know, you once said you would be relieved potentially if you didn't have to play hockey anymore, and yet you can't play hockey, and here you are skating around on the ice.
Yeah.
Dude,
and when
know
he was
thyself.
Trying to work through the breakup, he was also playing a hockey video game. So it kind of turns out that I think you do like hockey.
He did the long stare at the ice. That, for me, I was like, is he attracted to the ice?
Is he? Fuck the ice?
Mm-hmm. And she also says, you also have a really good reason to play. And it's that guy on your right, you know, your best friend who's always with you through everything. And then Garrett watches back videos of himself playing hockey and then sees the one of him fighting with Delaney, and Logan's the one pulling him off, which means that he couldn't do as much damage, which means he probably saved his hockey career. And that's nice. And then we cut to Dean talking to Beau, who we don't know the sexuality of, but given that he's giving like, all of these straight men advice on girls, I think we can make some assumptions. And he's like, I've been hooking up with Ali, and Beau's like, yeah, I was in the car. Yeah, I was in that car. You know, the car you were in, I was also there. That was me. And Dean's like, now I can't get it up for other girls. Beautiful. And Beau has to be like, in the same way that Hannah has to be like, the fact that you're here on the ice means you like the ice. Beau has to be like, the fact that you can't get hard for other women means you might like Ali. And they're both like, nah. And that's when I do believe that hockey's a contact sport.
Oh, that's so funny. Because given that the same guy who was like, what is it like the biggest turn on is trust, like a man is that emotionally intelligent can't figure out that he likes a girl.
Yep. And then he's like, Beau has to even be like, how would her sleeping with other people make you feel?
Let's do a role play.
Yeah. And then he very sweetly is like, dude, you're awesome, go tell her that you like her before she hooks up with some other guy.
Maybe touch up your roots before you do that.
Some of us like that. And so he goes to ring Ali. She doesn't answer because running by her is a man whose first name is a second name and second name is a park. It's Carter St. James. And she checks him out and he's like, are you checking me out? And she's like, yeah, basically. And that's a real hot moment. His little men in little tank tops, or his like jumper coming up so hot. They have sex. Garrett makes a team speech when the coach is giving a speech to the game that they have to play after he's gotten all of their points wiped from them, and that's moving, I suppose, if you care. And then the hockey game starts, and Dean is playing aggressively. Good for him. Garrett's watching and notices a little kid in the crowd loving hockey because we're still supposed to care about whether or not he decides he loves hockey. Ugh. Hannah gets herself back in the competition because it turns out they didn't change the programming.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Yeah, last episode she dropped out of the competition, but we all knew she was going to do the competition. Come on,
we did, and then she's in after a girl called Bethany, or before a girl called Bethany. We go back to more hockey play. This the point I'm like, more hockey? Are you joking? Because they'd already scored in the last. Anyway, we go back. And then Logan scores. How exciting. It turns out the team are also good without Garrett. We're supposed to be shocked by that, but they were at the top of their league. I don't understand. And then I guess it's exciting that Logan can now put the puck in the net. That's exciting. And then after this, Ali gets Dean to get the boys to come to the showcase because she's just heard that Hannah's in it. That's right. And very sweetly for a moment when they're like, when I think Garrett says like, "What? How do we know that she's in it?" Bo covers for Dean and is like, "I heard it. I overheard it in it's hearsay from the hockey
Yeah,
game."
Bo's the MVP on this one.
He
Really enjoyed Bo.
really is. He gets no credit, but I adore him. And he, oh my God, if he's not gay, although maybe him being gay would make him her type, he could hook up with Hayden's wife.
Ha!
Jackie and Bo, the underrated stars of these books.
Yeah, I heard that Bo just signed with the Montreal Metro, so.
That would be gorgeous. Is there an AO3 where two people just actually recognize the work, the labor that the other one's done? That'd be gorgeous. Hannah goes on stage in a silver dress.
Listen, if I speak, she's got the amount of technology and props that girl has on that stage is unreasonable.
It's the amount of gear you would bring to a gig if you want to insist on headlining, because it's just too long to take it down afterwards.
She's got a guitar, a loop pedal. She's got a keyboard.
2 keyboards,
maybe 2 keyboards. Yeah, because one is the piano and the other one is the synthesizer. It's obscene. It's giving Space Station.
And that makes sense as to why she wore that silver dress.
Boop, boop, beep, boop.
Yeah.
It's giving beep, boop, boop.
Yeah. She also, amidst all of this technology, all of this tech that she has built a song for in mere days, she somehow still has her lyrics written in the handwriting of a 5-year-old in a paper notebook.
I need a
make any
cigarette.
sense, does it?
And as this thing is being performed at us, and I'm not even going to go as far as to say it's called a song, the recording goes from what feels like she's got an orchestra behind her to making us trying to make us believe that she's producing all the sounds herself. Sorry.
There is also, that's interesting. I don't know enough about music. I do know that I hate musicals, and I'm like, why are you singing all these things you could easily say? But fine, whatever. I know that was the story. What I don't enjoy is Amazon's recap of the entire series, including amidst this song. I'm like, you don't back the song either, because why otherwise am I getting a recap of a show I've literally watched? You know I've binge watched it. That's why you put it all here on the same day. I remember. Fine. The song would be good if they were in high school.
Yeah, it's giving High School Musical. It's giving Glee.
But I hate the montage of the whole series because I just think, sorry, if the lyrics aren't enough, how many ways can you tell me what to feel? I will decide what I feel. I will decide. And then, sorry, she gets a standing O and that reaction and she doesn't win. Inexplicable to me, but fine. She comes second.
Her professor side of stage, raising the roof.
He's loving it. And even though we're meant to believe he has incredible musical taste, but fine. Ooh. And I guess he's just glad she showed up. And then
the lyrics are like, I am the girl I am because of you, something like that.
No, because of the girl I used to be.
Oh, because of, sorry.
Please be respectful. Jesus. And then afterwards, her and Garrett meet outside on the concourse.
And somehow it's still light out. So you're telling me that there was a whole talent show and a whole hockey game and it's still light out? When did we start playing hockey? 11?
That's such a good point.
The hell is still light out, but he does stand next to the car. Very 16 candles. Very nice, very cute.
And night shoots are expensive.
I guess so.
So then, very sweetly, you know, he kind of pours his heart out to her and she's like, you know, girls really hate it when guys are too available.
Come on, call back.
It's very nice. It's very nice.
Because that's what he said to her when she was thirsting for Justin in the beginning of the show.
She's like, you got a lot to learn. And he's like, you know, any good tutors? And they kiss. And that's good banter. We like it. We like it. Now, they all go to the diner to celebrate. And Dean and Ali talk. And, well, first of all, Ali thinks it was rigged and is livid about Bethany. And I'm with you, girl. Thank you so much for saying that. I agree. But it turns out Hannah got a paid internship out of it. So,
a paid internship is going to pay for...
In what?
That's a really good point.
In what? In what?
Right in.
Hello? I didn't
I'm
understand.
actually very confused. Could
somebody tell us? Maybe
but
they
also,
read the book.
A paid internship isn't going to pay for a whole year's worth of university.
No. That was her whole problem, is that she had loads of jobs, but it wasn't even touching the sides.
A paid internship isn't going to save the community center.
It's simply not going to save the community center. And so then we cut to my faves, Dean and Ali, and they're talking, and he's so sweet and brave. He's like, you love. And I don't know why I didn't see that. You told me that at the very start. I have come here to tell you. I thought he was going to say I love you, and I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. But he does say... I didn't complete the assignment. I didn't do my homework. I didn't have sex with somebody else because I like you and I like us. And I was like, Dean, I like your vibe too. This is so nice. And Ali says you can't. You have to complete the assignment because I did. Ugh. So heartbreaking, so devastating.
I don't know. It's like, who cares? I got a little upset there because I was like, I understand that maybe Dean is a little hurt, but please don't go into slut shaming territory, especially since
Oh, interesting.
I was like, you're not allowed to not like that because
Yeah.
you agreed to the terms.
I do feel like she could have gotten away with it, but for what not getting away with it. I think he could have had a nuanced approach to that. There's no time for him to because of what happens next. First of all, she immediately goes into it didn't mean anything, like, which is very sweet. It kind of tells us that she likes him too, and actually is surprised by what she's feeling when he says this to her. And then this guy walks in and is like, heard you guys need some new blood on the team, basically. I'm here to fix your hockey team. Which is a weird move given, and very arrogant given they just won, but fine. And he's like, wait, is it that guy? And she's like, no. And then she's like, yeah, why would that matter? Well, it turns out Hunter Davenport, the new guy here to help on the team that Dean already does not want to play with, is in fact
Carter St. James.
Carter St. James.
The guy with a fake white name is actually the guy with a fake white name.
Can you believe it? A doll inside a doll inside a doll. But the thing that you need to know is that they all then immediately break into a team fight. Dean, starts it against Carter St. James, whose name is, I must remember now, Hunter Davenport.
If Hunter Davenport is so good at hockey and he's at this university, how is he practicing his hockey if he's not on the team?
Yeah, it's a very unclear. I don't really understand how you just get a ringer who's just floating in university hockey land. I don't know. But the point is that they all start fighting, and Jules is there, of course, filming it and saying, and it's a good setup. I do think it's a good fun setup for the next series to be like, that's our new starting line, while they all kick the shit out of each other.
Oh!
And Ali's like, ah! And for me, I love the indication that the next series is going to be about those two.
And what are your completely uninformed predictions for series 2, please?
Oh my God, thank you for asking. Well, as you know, we haven't read the books. We don't know. My sense is Dean will feel it's the first time he's ever put himself out there for a girl. I hope, I don't want to watch him try to be okay with it and then not actually be okay with it, because he did agree to the terms. What I think is more likely is that he will be so busy and distracted and annoyed by the presence of Hunter Davenport on the team that he'll just feel too second fiddle to that energy to be able to let it go. And he won't go out with Ali initially. But they'll work their way back towards each other because it's YA and it's romantasy. At least I hope that's the case.
I think it's going to be a classic love triangle where Carter St. James is better on paper, but the vibes are better with Dean. It'll be something like Carter St. James carrying her out of a burning building.
Oh, you think she's actually going to get with him again?
Well, I think he's going to court her. I think he's going to openly like her too, and I think they're going to both compete for her. I think that's what's going to happen. Slowly.
But I also do want to know what happened with Summer.
Who's Summer?
Summer is his sister.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Hello.
Sorry. And what do you think is going to happen to Hannah and Garrett?
Oh, they'll just become the mom and dad of the group and always be together, I reckon. And then by the end, she's going to be buying calendars at the checkout of a sex shop, trying to jazz things up. Sorry. No, I don't know, but I do think they're gonna keep trying to shoehorn in meaningful sibling chats between the Logan and Jules
until because his thing doesn't come till season 3.
He becomes the lead character.
Yeah, all 4 of them have a book. All 4 boys have a book. So presumably, season 4 is gonna be John Tucker.
I love him though.
Finally.
He's such a good actor.
We will actually dip out and it will dip back in season 4.
Wait,
no, you're watching the Dean.
I'm obviously watching the Dean and Ali. How dare you? I'm borderline tempted to read the book.
Okay.
Let me know if anyone's read the book and what you think of the book. I'd love to know. I didn't know all 4 had a book.
I think so.
God, I'm never not learning with it. So Dean, Garrett,
Logan is season 3.
Logan and potentially John Tucker.
I assume so. Yeah.
Poor Bo. He couldn't get a book as well.
Bo is getting actually a Game Changers book. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
But if he were to,
The way I'm like,
he'd be doing a gay hockey one, surely.
I think Bo could be a really interesting third for Shane and Ilya. He's like a fun weekend hang.
I like that.
Don't you think?
I am manifesting, adult High School Musical. As in, like, imagine High School Musical, but everybody's graduated their university.
Mm-hmm.
It's so sex is allowed.
Mm-hmm.
And so he is both a professional hockey player, but he also loves musical theater.
That's nice. That's nice.
What's a city that does well? I mean, New York Admiral / Broadway. So he's living a double life.
Is he? Because in this world, it seems like, as we've established, there are rehearsal rooms in the stadium. So maybe not. Maybe not.
So what was your horniest moment of episode 7 and 8?
Thank you for asking.
Is it Carter St. James going for a jog?
It is. It's his jumper lifting up just over that gorgeous V. That's for me. Yeah. What about you?
I like a bit of that. I think it's Logan and Garrett making up. I think that's really sweet.
I thought you said making out. And I was like, did I fall asleep during it? What? Huh? What? Oh, okay.
Horny for emotional intimacy. That's
God,
me.
we're different. Yeah.
No.
I'm like, a person she barely knows ran by, lifted up his top and said sex now. And she said, uh-huh. Yes, please. No, man, if we do.
What was your horniest moment of the week?
Oh,
Right
tell
in.
us. Tell us, little
Instagram,
birds,
TikTok.
Tell us.
What's the third one?
YouTube? We're young. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all on the World Wide Web.
At Tonsil Hockey Podcast.
You can even email us, which is like the post, but faster and free, at tonsilhockeypodcast@gmail.com. Guys, thanks for listening. Let us know what you thought. Quick one. Would you watch the next series?
Yes, absolutely.
Would you read the books?
Yes.
Would you?
You tell us. Honestly, I think I'm going to leave this up to you guys. Also, let us know what else you want us to watch.
Yeah, please. Oh my God. And I liked this. This is much more the right vein for me than Hunting Wives, and I think so for you too.
I've never watched a Hunting Wife. What's that show even about?
Good.
I've
Yeah,
never
good
seen
point.
it.
Dead to us. Love you. Bye.